When Mega Man 9 launched in 2008, it faced vocal criticism from some fans who labeled its difficulty as artificial. The precise platforming, deliberate pacing, and punishing gameplay led many to call the game very unfair.
This shit is so hard!
Yet, with time and closer examination, the opposite argument holds far more weight. Mega Man 9 features some of the fairest, most intelligently crafted, and best balanced game design in the entire Mega Man Classic series. While Mega Man 2 remains as one of the most beloved and praised entries in the entire franchise, it and many other early classic titles have aged noticeably in both boss encounter design and overall level design. Mega Man 2 is very flawed in this regard. Many of the Robot Master patterns feel sporadic and chaotic rather than actually calculated. Boss rooms offer almost no environmental synergy, and several level segments feel outright unfair and poorly considered. Airman is a notorious example. His tornadoes are thrown out in largely RNG patterns, and in many cycles, they become 100% unavoidable, no matter how perfectly you play, making a true no-damage run nearly impossible. And it really doesn't help that additionally, the tornadoes deflect not just your buster shots, but also the leaf shield. Holy shit, dude. Woodman is pretty similar when it comes to unavoidable hitboxes. While his leaf shield can sometimes be dodged, the positioning is extremely tight, and you can't jump over Woodman once he's cornered you without taking damage. So you just kinda have to tank a lot of damage during this fight, which is objectively unfair. A lot of the fights in Mega Man 2 rely more on extreme precision and damage tolerance rather than actual skill or understanding a boss pattern properly. I mean, for fuck's sake, there's literally a music video about how difficult Airman and Woodman are. However, not every Mega Man 2 boss fight is flawed. Heatman, for instance, is pretty well designed, with avoidable fire patterns and charges that reward good positioning. And I could say the same thing about Crashman's fight. It's well designed, it's avoidable, you only get cornered if you don't understand the boss pattern, etc, etc. While I don't think Heatman's stage is difficult, a lot of players tend to skip one of the game's most iconic segments with the item number 2. Which personally, I think it takes the fun out of the stage. I mean, is this not the one and only beloved Mega Man 2? I also think Quickman's stage is incredibly iconic, but gets dismissed with unbalanced abilities. You can use Flashman's Time Stopper to stop the instant death beams. But again, it just feels like instead of helping you get through the segment, it feels like you're just completely skipping it. And there's nothing really inherently wrong with that, but I just think some of these abilities take the fun out of what were supposed to be the most iconic gimmicks that Mega Man 2 had to offer. Flashman's stage illustrates some examples of how Mega Man 2 will put you into unfair positions where you cannot avoid taking damage no matter what. In this room, you drop down to a segment where you have no safe zone, and you are thrown into a room with a giant Sniper Joe mech. There's zero room for error, and chances are you'll take a few hits just before you get through him. And by the way, this is the first time you ever encounter this enemy. You're really just thrown into this awkward position. Then you have these two other rooms that you can drop into immediately after this segment, where no matter what you do, you cannot avoid taking damage. Exhibit A, in this first room, you fall directly into an attack, and there's literally nothing you can do to avoid taking that hit. Exhibit B, the other room you can drop into, awkwardly places you above these blue spaghetti making machines. They just keep spitting out spaghetti. Okay, what is this supposed to be? Okay, they're called squirms? Yeah, okay, alright. The placement of these squirms are so awkward. They are placed in such a tight hallway that you cannot do anything to avoid it. No room to jump over them, squeeze by them. You have your buster alone and you can only shoot in one direction and you can't even attack them. So you just have to tank it to get through them. The presence of clearly unbalanced game design or overly punishing encounters in such a beloved game highlights a double standard. The same community that praises Mega Man 2 often dismissed Mega Man 9 as unfair, despite the latter's far more consistent and intentional game design. On the contrary to some of the many unfair levels and boss fights in Mega Man 2, the boss fight versus Flashman, I'll argue, is perfection. And this is going to help me segue into what I think Mega Man 9 does right. Flashman's room features a staircase layout that normally he could easily corner you. Yet, the fight itself is actually pretty fair once you get the timing down. The speed at which Flashman walks towards you is just slow enough so you can jump over him and avoid taking damage if you play it right. He charges across the screen and activates Time Stopper, which is avoidable if you take advantage of the high ground. The arena is pretty much designed to help you get around Flashman, and even if it wasn't for the way Flashman's boss room was designed, you can easily jump over him, and he only jumps when he gets shot. Additionally, when you have the Metal Blade, the boss room layout is designed to counter Flashman, not just because Metal Blade is his weakness, but because by design and level geometry, it counters Flashman seamlessly. You see, Flashman will approach you going down the stairs, while Metal Blade is a weapon that shoots in all 8 directions. Therefore, you can just shoot towards him as he comes down you and he's dead. A boss fight like Flashman, whether you fight him Buster only or with his intended weakness, is actually the type of game design that is actually so prevalent in basically the entirety of Mega Man 9. Mega Man 9 treats all of its boss rooms as a co-designer of the actual boss fight itself. By integrating arena geometry, weapon quirks, and environmental hazards directly with each Robot Master's simple, readable attack cycles, the game creates fights that feel unique, fair, and deeply satisfying. In Mega Man 9, the boss rooms are no longer just a simple passive box. It becomes an active participant that amplifies the boss's core gimmick, turning every battle into a miniature puzzle of positioning, adaptation, and mastery. Plugman's crawling plug balls become a consistent roaming threat, thanks to the arena's stairs. The room multiplies the pressure of his signature attack, forcing you to manage hazards as much as the boss himself. Magma Man's V-shaped staircase arena lets you squeeze under his short jumps as he hops up the incline, transforming basic movement into rhythmic, flowing cat and mouse gameplay. Even when Mega Man 9 opts for flatter boss rooms, the choice is deliberate. Galaxy Man and Concrete Man use open arenas to support run and gun aggression. Galaxy Man's black holes pull you in while you're supposed to shoot as much as you can while also trying to run away and not get sucked in. Concrete Man shoots concrete shots that turn into platforms that get in your way, and then he follows up by charging at you. Splash Woman's boss room is fully submerged in water, granting you floaty high jumps that she exploits from the top of the boss room while fish swarm the screen, turning the water physics into a vertically designed boss fight. Jewel Man has a very simple pattern. He only jumps when you jump. Once you figure that out, you basically have the entire flat terrain to outsmart him. Tornado Man's boss room gains massive depth from the spike ceiling and his tornadoes that not only attack you, but lifts your jump physics. And because of this, every leap you take becomes a calculated risk, turning what would have been a boring boss fight into dynamic, physics-driven tension. The same care for boss room designs extends beyond the Robot Masters. The claustrophobic Wily Stage 1 boss room restricts jump space and forces hallway navigation, demanding fast, rapid fire in tight quarters. But you can safely pull out and jump to avoid getting hit. By comparison, the infamous Boo Beam Trap in Mega Man 2 is a masterclass in genuine artificial difficulty. A super tight boss room where if you didn't already know to stock up on crash bombs and the item 1 and 2 in advance, you are basically completely f***ed. The turrets on the walls can only be damaged by crash bombs, and there's walls that you need to avoid blowing up to save your ammo. Your crash bombs have a maximum of 7 shots, and you cannot miss a single one, or waste any of them on the wrong wall. You need to save 5 shots for the 5 turrets, and 2 shots for the walls that are protecting 2 of the turrets. That's 7 shots, and you cannot waste a single one. Okay, but the Wily stages in Mega Man 9 are really hard, and you gotta do them all in one go. Yup, just like the original 6 games on the NES that didn't have f***ing save states. And even back then when we had the password system, it could only take you to the first Wily Castle stage. This is a Mega Man staple. In Mega Man 1 through 6, you didn't have saves or passwords between Wily Castle stages. You had to do them all in a row, and if you got a game over, are you struggling with the final boss or any part of the entire Wily Castle? Well, I'm still struggling to get to the final boss, and even then, getting to the final boss, I feel like I don't have enough E-Tanks or something. Well, guess what? You can just stock up on E-Tanks and any other upgrades in the shop. Oh man, but I really hate grinding. What's that? You hate grinding? Check this shit out. Go revisit Plugman's stage, activate the Jewel Satellite, stand under this telespawn at the beginning of the stage, walk away from the game, and go read a manga on the fucking can while taking a fat shit. Or maybe go take a nap. I don't know, dude. You could do anything on the side while this game literally grinds screws for you with zero fucking effort. It's the realest free real estate ever! Mega Man 9 lets you stock up on a whopping 9 E-Tanks. Meanwhile, Mega Man 2 only lets you carry 4 E-Tanks. Mega Man 9 lets you carry 1 Mystery Tank, which refills all your health and weapons. Mega Man 2 didn't have Mystery Tanks or Weapon Tanks at all, and I'm sure that would have been really useful during, you know, that fight. I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. I'm just really sick and tired of people complaining about how hard Mega Man 9 is, and there's clearly things that Mega Man 9 goes out of its way to do that would have definitely helped out if it existed in Mega Man 2. I just think you guys are really hypocritical when you judge Mega Man 9 for its difficulty. That's all I'm really saying. Mega Man 9 also shows superior overall weapon balance compared to Mega Man 2. In Mega Man 2, the Metal Blade completely overshadows every other weapon. You can basically just rush through the entire game with zero thought. It rarely ever feels like, oh, I figured it out. And it just feels like you're just turning off your brain and steamrolling through the game effortlessly. The Metal Blade is the weakness to literally half of the Robot Masters, has what feels like infinite ammo, and can be used and fired in 8 different directions. While it feels like your other weapons in Mega Man 2 are just kind of useless in comparison. Not kind of, they actually are! Like, why use any other weapon in Mega Man 2 when the Metal Blade does everything? In contrast, Mega Man 9 gives you 8 weapons that all feel unique, useful, and extremely versatile. More impressively, the weapons in Mega Man 9 aren't only effective towards the Robot Masters, they also perfectly counter the boss's terrain and hazards as well. Concrete Shot freezes Galaxy Man's black holes in place. And for some reason in the menu, they had to shorten some of these weapon names, and they shortened this to C-Shot? C-Shot! God f***ing damn it! Hornet Chaser homes in relentlessly and chases Splash Woman at the top of the screen. Magma Bazooka's 3-path spread perfectly counters Hornet Man's 3 Hornets. Tornado Blow is a screen-clearing power that sweeps the entire screen of Magma Man's attacks while granting extra jump height. Black Hole Bomb sucks up Jewel Man's projectiles. Plug Ball crawls through the floor and up the walls, which can be used to hit Tornado Man on the ceiling, saving you from those risky jumps. Jewel Satellite shields you from projectiles, bounces Plug Balls away, and lets you rush Plug Man aggressively. You know what's even better? These weapons aren't only just boss counters. They're stage-solving tools that encourage experimentation. You'll naturally discover uses for them while playing through the game. Whether it's Tornado Blow to clear a screen, or help you cross a big gap, you have Jewel Satellite to shield you from swarms of enemies, or Concrete Shot to create your own pathways. I feel like I don't even use these weapons as a necessity. I use them because they're just fun to mess around with. Every weapon in Mega Man 9 is fun, useful, and versatile in so many ways, and keeps the game from feeling stale as opposed to just raw dogging the stages with the Buster only. This level of integration, where weapons, boss patterns, and stage geometry all work together, is what makes Mega Man 9 feel so much more thoughtfully designed than Mega Man 2. A classic example of why I think Mega Man 2 is poorly designed is how reliant the game revolves around needing your broken abilities. In Mega Man 2, there's this vertical ladder segment in Crash Man stage, where a bunch of birds relentlessly drop eggs while attacking from multiple angles. Without the Metal Blade or Leaf Shield, this screen is borderline unplayable. You're forced to tank heavy damage just to climb. There's no safe strategy or an alternate path. It just feels like zero thought was put into accessibility or pacing. By comparison, the early section of Concrete Man stage in Mega Man 9 features similar bird enemies that drop rocks from above. You can throw out Jewel Satellite, and boom, you're walking on sunshine. You can just steamroll this segment like you're Yujiro Hanma walking through the unbreakable glass.
Okay. 入るぜ。お邪魔。
No, seriously, the Jewel Satellite from Mega Man 9 is the most broken shield weapon in the entire series. It feels like it was made for overwhelming segments like this. The Rain segment in Tornado Man stage with all the umbrella guys. It's also really useful in Plug Man stage where you're being chased down by, well, pretty much everything. The difference between Jewel Satellite and Metal Blade is that the Jewel Satellite simply eliminates additional obstacles while letting you focus on the main obstacle, while Metal Blade is just the solution to, well, everything. In Mega Man 9, you don't need the Jewel Satellite to get through these levels. But in Mega Man 2, you need the Metal Blade to get through the game or else you're pretty much f***ed. Let's take a breather. I want to show you how well designed Mega Man 9 is, even without the help of any weapons. Let's boot up the game from the start. Let's say you've decided to start with Concrete Man stage. Therefore, you don't even have Jewel Satellite yet. What are we gonna do? Alright, check this out. So you start playing the stage, and eventually you take damage from these birds that drop rocks. And they even knock you back a little. So now what? Well, now we're gonna play it safer and see how we can get around this obstacle. You'll find out that you can shoot these owls and rocks, and even then, let's say you don't have the best aim, the way these enemies are placed, they never throw them directly above you. If you stand still, they almost always drop them just far enough in front of you that both the rock and the ricochet don't even touch you. By now you should have realized that patience is key in this game. You can't just run through the shit all... Oh, fuck, dude. Oh my god, I'm sorry. You can't just run through the shit all willy-nilly. They're completely avoidable if you just stop and think and play the game patiently. I mean, they don't compare to a fraction of how annoying the birds in Mega Man 2 are! These birds in Mega Man 2 not only fly right over you, but if you don't manage to shoot these eggs before they hatch, a swarm of smaller birds come out and come towards you, which are obnoxiously pixel perfect to take care of when you only have the Buster! What are these things called? Oh, they're called peepees! They're called peepees! Great, I'm getting spit roasted by a bunch of f***ing peepees! Oh, but what am I thinking? Of course this could be easy! Everything is easy breezy when you just pull out Old Reliable! Yeah! Okay, I'm good. Let's just get back on track. So you continue Concrete Man stage, and you run up towards this hole. And let's just say you're impatient and you immediately try to jump over it without thinking twice, and boom. Something pops up from the pit, knocks you down, and boom, you're dead. You deserve that for rushing in without a second thought. This is actually a callback to similar pit enemies from Mega Man 4, but the devs made them way more noticeable in Mega Man 9. They pop up a bit slower in Mega Man 9, giving you more time to react. They purposely took older gimmicks and adjusted them to make them more fair and predictable. But okay, cool, like we learned more, right? We learned something, right? We're learning? Pits kill you. Don't fall into pits. Falling into a pit is instant death. Also, sometimes enemies pop out of them and they can knock you back into the pit. And you should have known about the knockback because we kind of learned that earlier with the owls and the rocks, right? So get a load of this. Some patience, you stand in front of the pit with some space, enemy pops up, boom, you shoot him and kill him, and guess what? The pit is now safe to jump over. Alright, look, let's just kind of fast forward this. I know the modern audience is gonna get really bored if I keep over-explaining things, and sorry, that's just kind of how I do things. Ooh, pay attention, jingle jingle, we're talking about Mega Man. Remember, we're talking about Mega Man, come on guys, Mega Man. So you progress through some more rooms, bada bing, bada boom. You climb up a ladder, skip, and oh look, we made it to a mini-boss. Fat f***ing elephant at 3 o'clock. And his name is Pao Zhao. Fun fact, this mini-boss's name is actually a combination of two Japanese words, Pan and Zo. Pan being the Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound an elephant makes, and Zo being the Japanese word for elephant. Which is like the equivalent of calling a dog woof dog, if that makes sense. Sorry, am I Japan-splaining right now? Oh boy, go men. I'm gonna kill myself. Anyways, the elephant shoots a big pink ball and sucks it back in. Alright, cool, I can jump over it. Understood. And in case I'm freaking out and need to digest his ball pattern, take a look at this. The game gives you a ladder to camp out and digest the pattern at your own pace. And, well, you saw what a ladder was earlier, so I'm sure you know how to use it at this point. So it's like they're not just throwing random shit at you. Like, does that make sense? You already know this, right? Makes sense? Cool. And look, the ball isn't even scary. Left, right, simple pattern. Pretty easily avoidable, even without the ladder. Next room, surprise! Another elephant. But this time there's no ladder, and the ball seems to be a different color. It's green, and instead of going back and forth, it bounces. Okay, new color, new pattern. Yeah, learn the pattern, kick his ass, we move on. Okay now, check this shit out. You walk into the next room, and it's another elephant. After learning about the pits, knockback, and his pattern, you'll be fighting him for a third time, but now you're in a controlled environment that has both hazards on the same screen, the pits and the elephant's big pink ball. And if we remember anything from the first fight where we got to camp on the ladder and, digest the pattern of the pink ball, the really simple pattern, we learned that the pink ball doesn't bounce, goes back and forth, and is easily avoidable. So let's do the math. Can you jump over pits? Yeah. Do you understand the pink ball pattern? Yeah. Alright, cool. Now apply everything we've learned so far in this stage, and it's actually pretty straightforward. Mega Man 9 doesn't overstimulate you with multiple gimmicks you've never seen before all at once. It teaches you gimmicks through gameplay, one at a time, and then later challenges you with multiple gimmicks all at once. It's pretty neat and well thought out if I do say so myself, and I could be here forever, but a lot of these stages in Mega Man 9 are designed with that thought process. Introduce a gimmick, reinforce a gimmick with hazards, add a variation or another gimmick, and then combine everything for a final challenge. It's simple, but genius. In the end, Mega Man 9's boss fights and overall level design represent some of the highest expressions of classic Mega Man game design, by keeping patterns simple, yet making every room, weapon, and enemy placement a deliberate part of the experience. Mega Man 9's gameplay rewards observation, adaptation, and mastery. It respects the player's intelligence and provides that perfect blend of challenge and fairness. Is Mega Man 9 hard? Of course it is. I never said it wasn't. I think it's one of the most challenging games in the entire series. But it has good challenging game design that Mega Man 2 lacks. Mega Man 2 is also pretty challenging to new players, but getting through the game relies on taking hits and powering through and spamming broken abilities like the Metal Blade. For example, let's compare the final bosses from both games Buster only. The Mega Man 2 Wily Machine is pretty frustrating, specifically its second phase. Those bouncing balls feel borderline unavoidable, and I find myself burning through E-Tanks just to survive. It's one of those hope you stocked up moments, because even when you have full E-Tanks and full Metal Blade, yeah, the fight is easy, you're just tanking a lot of damage and spamming the Metal Blade. By comparison, the Wily Machine in Mega Man 9 is challenging, but much more fair. Even Buster only, yes, I'm going to die on this hill. The patterns are simple, but require tight jumps and timing, but they're still avoidable and very rewarding. It doesn't feel like it's actively screwing you over with seemingly unavoidable hits. If I had to bet my life on doing one of these two boss fights, Buster only, no damage, I would rather do Mega Man 9's Wily Machine. Mega Man 9 takes the spirit of the classic final boss but refines it into something that feels much more fair and satisfying instead of punishing. And that's why I love Mega Man 9. The reason Mega Man 2 isn't called out for all its flaws is because we exploit these broken tools to get around them. And, well, because it's just such a beloved staple of the Mega Man franchise. I just love Mega Man 9, dude. It's a phenomenal game, I love everything about this game, and honestly, it is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the Chun-Li cameo in the intro. I love how the Robot Masters in this game are Dr. Light's creations, and in a funny way, my headcanon is that Dr. Light just makes better robots than Dr. Wily, and that's probably why this game is more challenging. I love the banging OST. Every song in this game is a masterclass of chiptune music. Especially the song that plays on the second Wily stage. I love how they added Proto Man DLC for those who missed the sliding and charging, which by the way was removed because they wanted to cater towards the Mega Man 2 fans since Mega Man 9 is basically a direct homage to Mega Man 2. I love how at the end of Mega Man 9 when you defeat Wily, just like old times, you see him begging for his life. And Mega Man displays it on screen every single time he's defeated Wily and how Wily is begged on his knees. The same way in every previous game. It's an insane nostalgic throwback to the entire classic series. I love this. Also in this part, the song that plays is actually a slowed down motif of the Mega Man 2 stage select theme. I love the special stage because it's just extra content and it has one of the best songs in the entire series. I love the endless stage. Once you've become an experienced player, you can basically play like this, I guess you would call it like a rogue-like type version of Mega Man 9, and you just keep playing randomized stages to see how many screens you can get to. It's kind of like if it was its own arcade game where you try to see how far you can get and break your own personal record. It's fun and I love it. They brought it back in Mega Man 10, but for some reason, they just never added this to Mega Man 11. I was looking forward to this in 11, and they just never added it to 11. I don't know. I thought this was a cool feature. And the credits at the end of the game? It's absolute cinema. It's beautiful. This is like one of my favorite credits in like any game ever. It's beautiful. I love it. I just really love Mega Man 9, okay? And I can appreciate how much love was truly put into this game. Before I wrap this up, I just want to clarify what I mean when I say artificial difficulty. To me, artificial difficulty means forced, unfair, or poorly designed challenges that rely on cheap tricks, RNG, or broken mechanics to purposely frustrate the player. Think of I Want to Be the Guy. Neither Mega Man 2 nor Mega Man 9 are actually artificially difficult. Minus one specific part. Unfortunately, due to its age, Mega Man 2 is just poorly designed in some corners, while Mega Man 9 is greatly designed all around. While still difficult, it's fairly challenging, and that's the difference. While I do love both of these games very much, I just really want to explore how unfair Mega Man 2 can feel when directly compared to the brilliantly crafted Mega Man 9. Just because I heavily criticize Mega Man 2 in this video does not mean I dislike the game. I mean, considering the game was made in the late 80s, and it's one of the earliest entries in the franchise, I understand that it isn't perfect. In fact, I really do love how flawed this game is. The Boo Beam Trap boss fight, while justifiably unfair, is a fun fight as an experienced returning player. It feels like it's a puzzle that I just know by muscle memory at this point. Mega Man 2, along with basically the entire classic series, are all my comfort games. I love Mega Man 2. I've lost count of how many times I've played all of these games. I love its iconic intro with the city. I mean, that is just like so iconic, dude. I mean, when we think of Mega Man, we think of this iconic opening. I love Mega Man 2's timeless OST, and it's also the game that has the one song everyone knows and loves. Genuinely, I don't care. I genuinely think this song is one of the greatest songs ever composed. And I'm not even talking about like video game chiptune music. I mean overall, this is like such an insane composition. It's fucking amazing. Honestly, I even love how scuffed the boss weapon cycle is, and how Metal Blade just basically rips through everything. While I do complain about how broken the Metal Blade is, I'll admit, it's just really fun to do a quick run through the game and just tear everything up with the Metal Blade, okay? I admitted it, it's actually really fun. Mega Man 2 is adored for a reason, but to me, Mega Man 9 is just a better Mega Man 2 in every way possible, and I just wish Mega Man 9 got the appreciation that Mega Man 2 got. A massive thank you to my incredible Patreon supporters. Your support gives me the motivation to keep making content like this. Thanks for being awesome. You guys are the best. So, yeah, that's all I got. Yeah, that's it. Go buy Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, and play Mega Man 2, and play Mega Man 9. They're both great games. Actually, f it, just play all the Mega Man games at that point. I love all these games. They're all great. They're all amazing. All right, go. You can go now. All right, peace out. Bye-bye. I said this video's over. Get out of here.